No. I'm kind of a poet sometimes, and I could never put poetry in music. What? Yeah. How's this? I've never gotten the hang of putting music and poetry together, so I do them separately instead. You guys don't have to take it too seriously. I think I got some music queued up here to play while I read some poetry for you. Yeah. It's called Tie and Lumber. The heaven-going struggle against alternating rusted-over flat cars, graffiti box coffins, pitching stripped sticky sap pine, railroad ties like matches, muscles pulsing to a rural rough-and-tumble disco beat popping in the ears, skin stretched tight over sweaty beer guts like kettle drums swaying back and forth, eyes flicker, altar candles fly from sleek greased machinery to rough grain sawmill cuts gripped by stapled ends, birth and death, and divorce somewhere in between that hold the whole jagged splintered shebang together. Gravel bonds with boot tread, asphalt tar to laces and stretched gaping jeans. Public majority remains apathetic and unaware. A world revolving exilic in perpetuity. The tie yard, a wilting and forgotten eating. The glory-bound insists, with heavy breath and clammy groaning defense of confirmation, it ain't music, it ain't poetry, it ain't religion, it's just work. This is one that I just wrote. It's about nothing. It is tentatively and appropriately entitled, Untitled. Well, when I was a kid, I saw a couch on fire and the sun-choked wild covered in leaves and mushrooms and rot, and saw it again smoking the next morning. There's a grain of truth in what my grandma said. Autumn shades of chintz show all life and death for what it is, she said. And I heard my name spoken through distempered tile walls, scrawled on connect-the-dot highway reflector pads, playing out like radio vignettes with theremin interludes, telling me to smoke certain cigarettes. It seems to me that human love is human love, it says to me. Sometimes you is the wrecking ball to my federal trust and loan. We torch black with our heavy-handed footsteps that burn like radiation poisoning. There are three things I know, and this isn't one of them. In Avignon, there is a carousel that spins children to music. It sits in the middle of a cobblestone square where once walked a different pope, 7 to be exact. How dull, how quaint, how chintz. The kids dance like congressmen and presidents. Though life's reality ain't what it used to be, there's a fleeting joke I once heard about a church finance or accountability, and I laughed but couldn't help but think about when this smile will be wiped from the earth and smile whiter as the smoke blackens my arms and fungi hug my icy shoulders. Woo! Yeah! This one, my parents were, well, sort of are firefighters. Every year, you know, they have the great big wildfires out west, and both of my parents go out and fight those. So this is for them. It's called, every summer the wildfires came and took my parents away. The telephone would ring, cut and veiled Auburn Elysian fields against an ominous, clouded, crosshatched skyline, screamed as they were being swallowed whole by beckoning flames, ticking the western landscape down like a clock. Dad went first, swaying out the door on legs like crackling lodgepole pines, followed by Mom toting her boots in the same matched luggage as her dress uniform. Raging plume smoke engulfing no-match pants and red wings, ash owl eyes squared away from goggles staring at the moon ablaze. They walked like giants of sweaty strength, straining from heat and fear and chainsaw weight, passing tiny exploding conifer cones bursting from heat with the seeds of new life and radiance. Later they would return, Mom with photographs and the lingering fumes of wildfire, Dad with a full mustache and a weary chiseled smile. The whole time I stayed with my grandparents, sleeping on the pink guest bed, staring at the clean white spackled ceiling, crumbling away over my face, while the oscillating fan shook its head back and forth, humming in stern disapproval. This is not mine. It's called Edna is Greater Than Edna -1. You can tell me I'm crazy, and they tell me that a lot, but whenever I close my eyes, I see this old black lady named Edna, and she looks at me and she says, knock, knock, and I say, who's there? And every time she says, sheepdog, and I say, sheepdog who? And about then is when people start looking at me funny, because she lives under my eyelids, right? And she says, sheepdog, sheepdog, cold turkey, jive, slap, hard drive, and then she does this little dance. It's a dumb dance, but she doesn't have a lot of room in there, you know? This is my last one. This one just got published in an excellent literary magazine called Quiddity. It does not deserve to be in there. Like, there's a guy in here who won an Emmy for writing for television. That's incredible. I did not win an Emmy. It's called My Family Names Their Clocks, and I don't know why. Well, my granddad used to tell this story about how his father found Rachel all helter-skelter on the woodpile, scratched and faded, waiting for Holocaust, hands bent at 90-degree angles like milkweed, stretching, almost breaking toward the mute Missouri winter sun. 70 years later, she dances in the parlor, swaying back and forth, twirling rusty Victorian limbs, wrinkled face like wet cardboard, blinking, squinting through lamplight that smells of burning wet oak, counting seconds, reminding the family with a creaky, distant nod, our name is our story. I ran out of music. Old Uncle Winfield Scott lives with us now, and if he could grow a beard, he certainly would. Robust and charming like an aged sommelier marching endlessly along the autumn sycamore walls, but stoic, never singing, mechanical, dark-skinned, coarse and rugged, a pioneer in the factory, history written on a lined index card on his inside. Not long ago, he was an Englishman wasting away in some bleak, forgotten closet stowed with mattresses and mice. But before that, he punched in for IBM 30 long years before they dressed him up and hung him out to dry on the timbered fat foothill of the Ozarks, trapped by the same weight that wears the mountains down. Thank you, guys.
Okay, whatever. So now it's not spinning in an infinite circle. I'll never know where it's supposed to be. Okay. Well, I beat this song like a dead horse, and I hope you love it. It's called Children Without Choices.
Lay with me, all difference and apathy, swallowed by the open sea, now has come to close. Darling, rest under wings that know you best. Mark your evenings full distress. Leave them to be thrown. You'll ask the child, where did your innocence go? Whoa, and I'll contend that it was never there. Children fret without choice as we all get forced to live with pity sex, for beggars cannot choose. Tell the child, go and play with comrades now. Let your thoughts run free and wild, for someday you will lose. You'll ask the child, where did your innocence go? Whoa, and I'll contend that it was never there. of loft, trailing me until you scoff. Pithy boy, afraid. Freedom comes costly as a dying sun. Beautiful is where it wants. The doctors they have said your last good child, where did your innocence go? Oh, and I'm content that it was never there. Your last good child, where did your innocence go? Oh, and I'm content that it was never there. Lay with me, all difference and apathy, swallowed by the open sea, now has come to close. I have watched you walking and I've stood beside you. I have been here all along, though you have kept your space. I've seen the planet, I set it into motion, yet it's still completely wrong, leaving you flat upon your face. Believe me when I say I know your tears. I have seen them coming for 10,000 years. The pain in your heart I once bore, something passionately so I could feel. I know you keep the swelling of your heart, and I have been there for longer, kept you waiting from the start. I understand the meaning of despair. Rest assured upon my soul when you cry, I will be there. When no one else loves you, I will love you. I'll give you all that I have. Like this one turns back and your face is looking bright. Just know that I don't let it overcome that. Lean upon my heart, my love, and rest upon my ways. I will show you what it means to love and have joy in all things. When I have a sense of doubt, my love is never decreasing. Do not be the night, my love is never